Well, hello everyone. My name is Jennifer Herrera, and at my schools they call me Dr. J. And we have 4 charter schools just in the city of Tucson, Arizona, and what we have is kinder through 12th grade in one school. Let's see if I can get this. At our school, the thing that we're most known for is we're most known for getting 100% of our students accepted into college. And how do we do that? For us, the how wasn't really the question, the why was. And what we found was the first thing we needed to do in operating schools, especially charter schools, kinder through 12th grade, which can have many goals, is that really know your community. So we got to know our community, and we found out we're about 88% Hispanic, and also we are a school that has goals of changing the status quo. Many of our parents work 2-3 jobs, and they really don't want their kids to have to do that. And they're looking for alternatives for what they could do for their kids. And they look at education, which I think is a great place to look. And so as they came and said, I remember one time I was so frustrated. I was like, I don't even know why I do these schools. Why do I even try? You know, I was just frustrated because things were kind of bumpy. And I asked the parents, why do you bring your kids here? Why do you drive them here every day? Why do you pick them up every day? And why? And they said, you know what, Jennifer, you know why? Because I don't have a college degree. I don't know how to help my kid get a college degree. And we're counting on you to get our kids into college. I thought to myself, wow, okay, good thing I asked, because guess what? I have 5 degrees. That college is something I'm actually good at. I can get people into college. So I found my mission, and I gathered to myself a team of great people. And can you guys just raise your hand or stand up? There's a whole bunch of them. So we worked together to bring a program for our students. We have about 550 kids, kinder through 12th, so our graduating classes are about 20 to 30 kids, and every one of them gets accepted to college. Over the years, we've been open for 19 years. This will be our 20th year as a charter school, and we have found out what works and what doesn't, in particular for our community, but I believe I found something that would work for any community that wants to emulate anything that we do. And it's these skill sets for innovation. We have condensed them into like 5 little categories. And today, in this discussion, I'm just gonna share what we have done and how we have considered global issues, local issues, and how to best prepare our kids so that they too can go out and be successful, so that the parents can know that their kids are gonna have options that maybe they feel like they did not have. The first one is innovation, personal development mindset, and we've probably all heard of that many times, but it's so important, and it's not inherent. It is something that we have to, as educators, include in our delivery, in our curriculum, in our planning, in every aspect, because without the proper mindset, education is kind of dead. You have to have something behind it. You have to not just give, oh, wonderful criteria, wonderful information, but you have to help the kids and the learners see how that connects and why it's important to them. You also have to be mindful of your community. Again, know your community. What's important to them? What do they like? What do they receive? What do they connect to? And if you could put that into your program, you're gonna make it. We found where we cannot always find something they've already experienced, we need to give them some experiences. And it starts with your staff. We have a staff that is very much representative of our school community, and as you can see, we have done a few interesting things. We did firewalking. Anybody been to a Tony Robbins seminar? All right, I'm gonna say I highly recommend it. It's mostly the TIA people who raise their hands. And why? Why in the world do you need to walk on fire? Well, it's not that you need to walk on fire. It's that walking on fire defies everything in your mind, right? You think, if I step on that hot coal, I'm gonna get burned. But there's actually ways that you can walk on that fire and not get burned. And that's the beauty of an experience like that. We also then did a more localized version of mindset adjustment by walking on broken glass. And we actually had a coach and business consultant come, and he did an entire world record break. And he had us lay out all this broken glass. That's that other picture under local. And he's running on the local glass. And he broke a record for the most consecutive rows of broken glass that is run upon in a certain amount of time. I can't remember the exact outcome. It was like 15 minutes of running on broken glass. He did have a few little pieces of glass stick to him, but not like you would expect. You would expect you couldn't do it, but you can with proper mindset and, again, skill set. And as you approach the difficult task, how you do it makes the difference. We even bring it to our schools, and how we do that is, if you come from a home where nobody has gone to college, that's a whole nother mindset, isn't it? You're having to perceive what it is to go to college. There's a lot of misnomers about it, that, oh, you're going to think you're better than everyone else, or, oh, now you're going to make more money. Not necessarily true, right? Also that you are just going to withdraw from the family. And in our community, family is extremely important. So sometimes college can be perceived as a threat. That college is going to take my child away from me. They're not going to love me. And so mindset helps you address even those issues and how you can bring your family along with you for the experience. We have a program that we do where we have a professional coach come in, and he has a program called Facing Dragons. And part of it is, after we get a bunch of tools for how to shift your mindset, what do you do when you feel depressed? What do you do when you're missing your family? What do you do when someone's not so nice to you? What do you do when your roommate, doesn't let you sleep in college? You have to solve the problem. And so looking at this little water barrel here, it was freezing cold. We dumped ice in it on top of it and gave them the opportunity. Do you want to jump in the water? Most of them are like, no, I don't want to jump in the water. So why would they? What's the point? The point is to do something radical so that when you go to college, it's not so crazy. When you go to college, you might get cold, but guess what? You're going to live. When you go to college, you might step on some glass, but guess what? You're going to live. And when you go to college, you might walk through some fiery paths, but guess what? You're going to live. And those experiences make you stronger, or they can make you stronger. And they can certainly equip you for life, because all of us have had interesting paths we have had to take. So as you can see in innovation, personal development, mindset, time management, self-discipline, asking questions are all part of the skill set. Another person who works at our school sometimes comes in and speaks to the kids is life coach Andres Ruiz. And he does a program called I Believe in Myself. Because I don't know about you guys, but my family didn't always believe in my crazy ideas. I do have a few crazy ones, though. But they did not always believe in me. And sometimes I think they just wished I wouldn't talk anymore. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you have a reason to do what you're doing, and the direction that you're taking matters. And if that it fits your purpose in life, then you go do it. So Coach Andres Ruiz certainly has taught our kids a lot about that. And he has a book called Morning Warriors, and how that morning routine can get you woken up in the right way. Second set of skills is experiential, which basically the last slide showed experiences, didn't they? But through the experiences that we give at school, we want them to have appreciation for diversity. We want them to think critically, solve problems, constructive criticism, be able to give it and take it. Okay, taking it is a whole nother skill set we learned. And ethical decision making. You got to learn how to make that decision and follow through with ethics, your own, others you have adopted, things that you know to be true. We do that a number of ways. We have an appreciation for other cultures in our school that is like none other. We do have fun with that by going on international trips, which I can't help but smile when I think about them, because for me, that's like a dream come true. I love to travel. And I have traveled extensively since I was, I think 14 was my first international trip through school. And I studied in London when I was in college. And now we've taken, I don't know how many trips. I mean, maybe 15 to 20 different international trips, or actually local as well. We've been to New York, been to Boston, been to a few places here in the States as well. But in these pictures, you can see we're in a cannon bunker in Normandy, France. And the kids were just like, oh my gosh, we're in this hole. Wow, look how big it is. And they were so excited and just blown away by how big it is. And even one of our staff, I got a kick out, was running down into a bomb hole and up. And she said, oh my gosh, I can't believe how deep this is. It's so big. I mean, just being there, that's the difference. And it certainly does help when you are trying to conceptualize what has happened and how massive those things are. The other one is a picture of us in France, just overlooking the city of Paris. We bring that local as well. We locally bring in performances. Actually, we don't bring them in, we do them. We have Spanish program and we have a Chinese program. The Spanish program teaches the language, of course, which is what most educational classes teach. But we believe it's way more than the language. The language is going to come when you start using it. And we give the foundational basics of that. However, the cultural values and the differences and the similarities, that's what's fun. And so we have the folkloric dancing, we have all kinds of discussions. We took a group of kids, let me see here. We have a group of kids at that top picture where we are on the Spanish station in Tucson, Arizona. And the kids were interviewed, I was interviewed, a teacher was interviewed, and all of us were forced to use our formal Spanish, which is a lot harder than just our regular conversational. We also have been on the English-speaking stations. Why do you do that? Why would we do that? First of all, it's not as expensive as you would think. Second of all, for parents to see their kids on a TV being an expert in some area is empowering. Again, it shifts that mindset. I'm a contributor. I'm somebody who knows something. And I shared it with the world. That's what I love to do. In Papua New Guinea, we did a study there, my husband and I. And this is what I learned. I remember those years long, long ago. In English, we say, I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. In talk pidgin, however they say it, mi bel and pull up. Bel is your stomach. It's full, and pull up. My stomach's full, I'm happy. Do you feel happy when your stomach is full? Yeah. All right, in Spanish, I found another saying which for me it connects. Panza llena, corazón contento. So if your stomach's full, your heart is content. Again, those are three very different languages, but the concept's the same. Something everybody can relate to. So in this innovation of experience, you experience things through language, you experience things by going there. You can do it virtually on many sites, especially we discovered over COVID. And performances, language, being on TV, all of those are ways to give the experience of becoming someone who's a contributor to the community. Third one is project-based learning. At our school, we believe in projects because it makes the learning real. It could be a little hard sometimes because it takes a lot of coordination, but over time, we've become better and better at it. And I have a little video that shows one of our projects, which we're very proud of. Let me see if I can get to it. This is part of it is the business club. We have interviews by people in the community. And they come in and give up, 2-3 hours of their time. They dress all professional, and they interview our kids one-on-one. And it's kind of a grill session, and you see how nervous they look in the computer lab there waiting for their interview. And it's a great practice for them. All right. This is where we see if the video works. I don't know. Oh, it may or may not. Is the video going to be able to work? We'll see. In the video, whether it works or not, I can tell you what happens. You're going to see a group of kids who are so excited about their business concept. So what we do is we have basically collaborative learning, and the kids are able to design and plan their own business. And the different ideas they come up with are great. This group that's on the video, you may have to see it yourself on YouTube later. But it's great because they're so excited about their jewelry company. And they picked the jewelry company for a reason, and they have their concepts down. And each person in the group has their role. Somebody's the CEO, someone is in charge of finance, someone is in charge of marketing, and other ones are the treasurer. It's just very exciting. And they get to develop all of the plan. They make their own website. Now you might be saying, wow, that's too expensive. No, it's a free website. There's all kinds of free stuff out there. And they make that website in 3 languages. They make it in, of course, English. They make it in Spanish. And they even make it in Mandarin Chinese, because we do offer Mandarin Chinese. And we want them to have some tangible representation that will reach even that part of the world. That is the global aspect. And so it is such an exciting result. And as you can see, here's some of the projects, the businesses that have been developed over the years. One of the ones that is still in existence, I looked it up a couple of nights ago to make sure it's still on. You should check it out. It's called Project Kicks. Project Kicks is one of our students. It's another idea he's piggybacking on, but he has made it his own, and it is refurbishing name brand sneakers. Okay, and the name brand sneakers, I mean, I don't know, have you ever heard of ZZs? Anybody? ZZs? Okay, you're like me, I don't know the sneaker nation. But I can tell you there is a big crowd of people who love that stuff. And he found them online, and they actually buy these refurbished shoes. And I said to him, so how much do you sell them for? I'm thinking $20, $30, that's a good sale. Nope, you wanna know how much it cost? He sold those Yeezys that he redid for $1,500, one sale for a high schooler. I thought that was pretty good. So very exciting to see when they have those big aha moments where they're like, wow, if I find the thing that someone is looking for, I can make a contribution, I can receive good compensation. And that's what we love about it. We have today's model, Rubina Victoria. We have Monique Cañez with Pet Touch Relief. And we also have Teo Mendoza, did Landscape Kings. You know, these are simple ideas, but isn't that what business is? It's an idea that starts kind of simply, and it evolves. And as you get customer satisfaction, you go in that direction, and you find out how you can contribute to the world. So I love all of that. So project-based learning, collaboration, website creation, group presentation and interviews, all of that makes for a very interesting classroom and also a very real and tangible job. Did any of you ever sell like Girl Scout cookies? Or have you ever sold magazines? Just thinking of the things I sold when I was a kid. Okay, so you've sold some things. Okay, so you think of that concept and think how that did impact your life. It did impact my life because it helped me learn to ask people for things. I was not good at that, but through having to sell things, I learned to ask, even though it was uncomfortable. Fourth one is design process. And this one, you know, research things, discover things, write about things, evaluate things, have experiences, evolve. It's more individual study. We found that if we allowed our kids to have some individual goals that they could accomplish, that we had some happy kids. And also, it teaches them how they can be happy in life. That when they get in that weird spot in their marriage and it's not all wonderful and brilliant and they have bills and stuff, how can they make their own happiness? That's a life skill. And I'm telling you, this one, number 4, innovation. We have to constantly redesign ourselves, right? I know all of you out there have, because each time you got a different degree, you were able to do something different with it, even being here at this conference. And it served us well. Why not give that to the kids? There's so many ways they can do it. And so this one, that is me in the picture. I was afraid to rappel in college. It was always something I regretted not trying. I don't know why I was afraid, because I haven't been afraid of anything else. But I decided, actually on my daughter's 21st birthday, we went rappelling. And so there's she and I rappelling together. But of course we had someone helping us and somebody who did all the safety, because I don't understand that part of it. But it wasn't scary at all. I found myself more worried about her. I just got down so I could make sure she made it. And animals, oh my gosh. if you like animals at all, look what you can do around the world. I have had monkey on my shoulder. I've had the pandas being fed in, gosh, I always forget the name. I want to say Chimaltenango, but that's in Mexico. It's the one with in China where they have this huge panda reserve, and the walkways are on bamboo. It's beautiful. So pandas in China. And Australia, we fed the kangaroos, and I'm telling you, I think I'm an animal and a baby person because the animals just find me. And these little kangaroos kept coming to me and like following me around, wanting me to feed them. So finally I bought some food and I started feeding them, and boy, they were just like, we were pals forever. And so animals are a big part of our lives that maybe we discount. Don't discount them. The design process of all that, you can have independent studies that you allow the kids to do. You can have open-ended questions are, of course, huge. Flexible learning environment and problem solving. That's a huge one. Before you solve the problem, you need to define the problem. And so that, again, is a process that is great for academics, it's great for the real world, and it's great for your personal life as well. One thing I will say about this is an independent study we had a high schooler. He was not on the right track, and he decided he wanted to kill himself, and he told all of us that was his intention. And he wasn't like a needy person, though, about it. He was more like in our face about it, like, no, you can't do anything about it, I'm going to do it, and I'll decide when, but it's going to be soon. You know, and we were just like, I just thought, wow, he's awfully bold to just say that. And so I just said, you know, you have got to stop resorting to that. Is there something else that could be your go-to? What if you made a crazy, they call it a big, hairy, audacious idea? Why don't you get one of those, a BHAG, okay? And so we talked about that, and in one of his weakest moments, I just said, he was, you know, everyone was trying to console him, and he was like, no. And I just said, you know what? Tell me right now, what's one thing that you wish you had done that you would love to do? What is that one thing? Make it big, whatever you want. And he's like, fine. I want to go to see the United, gosh, here it is with my words again, but the United soccer team in England. What's it called? Oh, Manchester United, yes. Manchester United. And, you know, I like sports, but I don't necessarily follow that team. But I said, really? Okay, well then we're going to a game. In 2 months, we're going to raise money, and we're going to go to a game. He goes, right. I said, well, you're going to have to work for it, but yeah, we're going to do it. And so we made it happen. And before we knew it, we were having a VIP luncheon with players from the soccer team, not the current players. They were older, retired players. And they told us everything. And they signed a soccer ball for us. We all have it in our offices somewhere. And we took that kid. And he goes, all right, Dr. J, you made your point. You made your point. And he's still alive. And he has a family now. And he is doing what he can do to enjoy life. And for me, that's a big victory. He has a skill set. He also keeps in touch with us. I don't know if they'll put their children in our school. I hope they do. But it wouldn't surprise me if he does. His sister has her kids in our school. And that's how it goes. It goes on and on and on. And that, to me, is a very happy, fulfilling thing about what we get to do as educators. The last one is innovation of number 5, communication. Just like what I'm doing now. There's also Toastmasters, there's also competitions you can create, there's debate team. These are so many things that we can do to encourage the kids. And competition, people, there's pluses and minuses, right? So I've been in situations where we did decide to give participation rewards for everybody. But we found for our program and where it's at now, it's better if we don't do that because we need to teach them how to be good winners and gracious concession, like that they are not losers, but that they didn't go as high as that one did. And so teaching them that, again, is a life skill, and it also keeps it interesting. And how I have definitely tried to live that out is with our leadership team. That's our leadership team picture in the middle there. That's all the principals and the finance people, co-founder, and the chief registrar. And that team of people all of them have been to some Tony Robbins event against their will. All of them have been to some country around the world having some exotic experience. And all of them are 100% committed to students and their success. and they live locally, they are from that community. So guess what? The kids are going to come back, and the kids are going to be able to relate to us and to basically, hopefully, be in communication all our lives. Because that's what a community is. It's where people can find one another, encourage one another, and keep each other headed forward. On the right is just a Ferrari. I mean, I never thought I could drive a Ferrari, but we rented one, and we did it the day after the Monaco, right after the Monaco race. And we even drove it on the path of the race in Monaco. How did that happen? That's something I didn't really plan. But I think it happens like that because after a while of trying to do new things just start coming to you. And that happened for us. The other one is the big boat behind me. That big boat, I think it was me or it's my daughter, on the jet ski. And it's the largest sailboat in the world. It's owned by Germans, and it's in the bay there at Monaco. And I never saw it. It doesn't look like a battleship. I mean, who has that? And why? Why do you have it? But there's reasons, and I don't know what they are. But I think, wow. See, kids, there is always someone doing something that is different and interesting. And bigger isn't always better, but in this case, it is what it is. And it's, it is what it is. So that is another way to do it. Here's another thing. Okay, who am I? Goodness. I'm from a farm in Indiana, okay? I used to have to feed the cows before I went to school. I learned to do it so I wouldn't have to bathe after. It was great. And I'm just saying that with that, you have a little humility. I never thought I would meet anybody that I watched on TV. But I went to a conference. I was invited to go and speak at a business conference. And part of it was, if you wanted, you could get pictures with these famous people. And I thought, really? You can just get a picture just like that? Oh yeah, that was what the setup was. And the idea that attracted me about that is that just when you think, something's not possible, why would I get my picture with them? What for? I mean, they don't know me. But you know what? We are their audience. They were all very gracious, very kind, very humble. And they're so happy they get to do what they get to do. And when I saw that side of them, I was so, touched, to be honest. It's like, wow, how do they live each day? I mean, I thought they were just like, hey, I'm the movie star. I get to do this. I have money. But no, they're very normal. They all have goals. They all started somewhere as well. So we tell the kids, you don't know who you're going to meet. And these guys, they're just like you. They started in school. They started in a place where they were born. And then they stepped up, and they had opportunities, and this is just what their opportunities yielded. Here's another great one. I got Mama Goose and Papa Goose right here in the audience. I don't even know if they need to wave, really. You can see them. But they have been phenomenal with our schools because we have a lot for the older kids, and now we have some things for the youngers. And this is a 7-year-old, a fourth grader, who they led through the process of publishing a book because they have a publishing company. And they do book concerts. If you go on YouTube, you can look up Tucson International Academy and see all about the book concerts that Mama Goose and Papa Goose put on. And they are brilliant. And they will travel anywhere in the world, I would guess, to deliver their message of literacy being a beautiful part of life. I, of course, wrote a book, too, Making College Come True, because it is doable for anyone. We have never had a kid. We have had special education students. There are many programs out there. And the funny thing is, at University of Arizona, one of our rather challenged special ed kids did get a full ride scholarship there. And I thought, why? Why does that always happen? The other one can't go there because they can't afford it, but this one is going to go. Oh my gosh, he got straight A's. So how dare we underestimate what a kid can do? He did it. And there's another friend of mine, John McClain, who's out there making a difference for homeless vets. Did 2 tours to Iraq, came back, found himself homeless, right in Tucson, Arizona, and he changed 13 laws. Yeah, so we're very proud of him. So innovation, flipped classroom, you could call it. Social justice is always an issue. Peer-to-peer book publishing, television, radio, magazines, podcasts. All of these are a great way to impact life. 5 skill sets for innovation. You probably have your own for your communities. I urge you to develop them and think about them and figure out how you too can make a big difference and how you can work together with your community to bring the change and open the doors of opportunity the way you want to see that happen. We have a table out here. If you do want to talk more, I'm happy to engage in lots of conversation. We also have a lot of YouTube videos that we have made, and any of the ideas are, you can just grab them. You can just use them if they fit for you. And what I can say is I feel very honored to get to work with kids and then to have an audience that actually wants to hear about it. For me, that's just a real big blessing. So thank you for being here today. And thanks to my team again for being here. And please come and visit us at our table. Thank you.